Hello, everybody. I'm Brainjar. I'm the founder of Picasso Network. We've been focused for the past 3 years on introducing and expanding the IBC protocol, which is a transport protocol that has been designed for the Cosmos ecosystem to new ecosystems beyond Tendermint consensus. So we've originally been focused on bringing IBC to the .sama ecosystem, and more recently, we've actually launched Ethereum IBC and also Solana IBC. Why does this actually matter? Mostly because of the fact that all of the other existing bridging protocols out there are centralized and don't rely on light client verification. Because of that, we've actually taken the time and the energy to build these bridging protocols out that can last for centuries and are fully permissionless, fully decentralized, and you only trust the chain. So everyone knows what the problem in DeFi is. It's fragmentation. There is a variety of different protocols out there: Layer 0, Axelar, Wormhole, all different types of bridges that are being used currently to move assets between different ecosystems, also generalized message passing. The problem with a lot of these protocols is if they haven't been hacked already, the reason why these protocols are hackable is because there is this massive centralization vector that they introduce when building out these bridging protocols. As an example, Axelar has a set of validators. These validators essentially act the same way that, very similar to the way Wormhole Guardians act, in that they receive, a state transition from one chain and basically turn around to the other chain and say, "Trust me, bro, this is all good. Feel free to proceed with the bridging." We looked at this and we said, okay, 10 years from now, do we really want to rely on somebody in the middle of this protocol, in the middle of these different chains, to tell us it's okay to bridge? So we were looking for a protocol that could really be decentralized and could really allow us to provide these 3 key features: trust minimization, censorship resistance, and permissionlessness. Having a bridging protocol that allows you to not have your funds frozen by a guardian, not have to wait 30 minutes for someone to say, "Trust me, bro." And then the third component is, not even having the "trust me, bro" component is really valuable as well. So just, concretely, what does this actually mean? Basically, we take, consensus proofs and block headers from different chains and send them to each other for validation by light clients on every chain. So to architect a protocol like this, we decided we needed a dedicated chain to be able to serve as this kind of hub chain for all these different interactions. So Cosmos is 50 plus different chains. They're all already speaking this protocol. And so we decided we want to be part of the Cosmos ecosystem, in that we want to make a layer 1 dedicated for this purpose, and can we then use this chain to expand these, the existing Cosmos ecosystems, but also to expand, connectivity between Ethereum and Solana and other ecosystems over IBC. So what this actually looks like is, we have our own L1. It's called Picasso. And we connect to Cosmos, Ethereum, Polkadot, Solana, and many more chains in the future, specifically over IBC. So to make a chain IBC enabled is not just like Layer 0 or Axelar, where they just deploy a contract. We actually have to build the light clients necessary to be able to have the communication between the chains. So this has taken us 3 years to build, basically. The ability to bridge assets between any of these ecosystems is quite a lot of effort to put in to be able to make this work, but once it's done, it's done forever, basically. So the other component that we're excited about because of IBC is also restaking. So a lot of people have been memeing Picasso as, the first Solana restaking layer. The reality is we're actually hoping to do generalized restaking. So, if you have a bridging protocol that actually works and can securely pass messages from one ecosystem to another, that's been the main issue for restaking, right? Like, EigenLayer exists on Ethereum, Babylon is also doing, Bitcoin restaking. But none of these different ecosystems have a secure way of speaking with each other. And because of that, there's no way to introduce generalized restaking. So for us, we looked at this problem and we said, the only real reason why generalized restaking doesn't exist is because there is no bridging protocol. And so, we're rolling out generalized restaking. We already have Solana restaking. We'll be introducing TIA restaking, ETH assets as well. But the beauty of this is that all of these different vaults can speak to each other over IBC. So just a little bit more about why this is so hard and what the architecture actually looks like. Basically on Ethereum, we have a light client of Tendermint. To receive blocks from the Cosmos ecosystem, we need to be able to snark ED25519 signatures and also receive the consensus proofs from Cosmos and be able to understand them on Ethereum. And then on the Ethereum side, we also need to be able to understand, the consensus of Ethereum, the recent state transitions, and all the necessary proofs required to be able to move funds back and forth. So this is basically what the architecture looks like. We've been working with Succinct to introduce the ZK circuit necessary for snarking of the signatures. And yeah, basically like from there, Picasso connects to, Solana, Cosmos, all the other ecosystems that we connect to over IBC. So who actually cares about this stuff? Well, basically everybody should care about IBC because in 5 years from now, do you really want, if layer 0 bridges you to base and then they decide to shut you off because of whatever reason, they could do that. You can't do that with IBC. So we've been working with a variety of different people to actually like roll out use cases of Ethereum IBC, primarily on the DeFi side, but we've also been working with different rollups as a service, different DeFi protocols and different ecosystems as well. So more on this another time. So where actually are we with Ethereum IBC? So we've launched this 2 weeks ago. So it's like, there's been a lot of different teams like Polymer and, a variety of different teams out there working on Ethereum IBC. We are the first to launch it. We already have transfers live between Ethereum and Cosmos. We announced that we're introducing a Frax pool on Osmosis and also a USDT pair on Curve. So currently I would say we're in phase 1 where sort of everything is kind of beta, and we're moving very soon to phase 2 where basically there will be this Solana integration as well, which Solana is coming out this week. It already is live. We haven't announced it to the public yet. Our hope is that people will then, if you have Solana IBC and Ethereum IBC, like that's a real competitor to Wormhole. So the hope is phase 2 becomes turbocharged with the fact that we have Solana integration as well. Solana IBC is faster and cheaper than Wormhole. It takes 30 seconds to go from Cosmos to Solana. So hoping that, the path to Ethereum and back is cheaper than competition. Because, it's obviously nice to be trust minimized, censorship resistant, permissionless, but we also need to make sure we're faster and cheaper. So phase 2 is becoming more engaged this week, and will continue over the next few months as well. So now that we have Ethereum IBC, Solana IBC, generalized restaking, what are we actually doing with all this stuff? Basically, my vision for crypto has always been, can we build a simple application that lets me do anything on any chain? I've been, trying to roll this out for multiple years. The reason why we haven't is because the first issue is bridging. There's no good bridges out there, so we have to build bridges ourselves. Now that the bridges are done, we'll introduce these frameworks for like swaps, lending, cross-chain, all these different cool cross-chain functionalities through an application called Mantis. And as far as further bridges, different teams this week have been speaking to us about having IBC live on day one. I think we're interested in next doing Bitcoin. Recent developments with things like BitVM and other VMs on Bitcoin, I think will enable Bitcoin IBC, but still yet to be determined. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you guys. Questions? Have some water.
Hello? When will the mainnet go live?
So ETH IBC is already live right now.
It's already live. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So if you go to mantis.app and you hit /Ethereum, you can already bridge assets from Ethereum to Cosmos.
Hey, yeah. Can you go into a bit more detail regarding the economic security that you guys are leveraging with your restaking? So it seems like you're taking Cosmos validators and staking, and then restaking that on these other chains for the most part, and then sort of these receipts that you're passing around are kind of like proof. They're almost like liquid restaking or restaking tokens. But yeah, can you kind of explain how that interoperability works for me?
Yeah. So like interoperability and restaking are like two. So interoperability works completely without restaking. So like all the bridging, all the proofs, all the light client verification that's happening on different chains, that's all happening without restaking. But when you have a secure system that actually doesn't rely on some guardian in the middle, and so then what's the trust model? The trust model is you're trusting the chains, right? So we're trusting Ethereum, we're trusting Cosmos, we're trusting Solana. If any one of these chains reorgs, the bridge dies, basically. But I think that's a better trust assumption than Axelar getting hacked, basically. So because of this, we then said, can we build a vault on Ethereum? Can we build a vault on Solana? Can we build a vault on, our own chain to take in like Cosmos assets, etc., Ethereum assets, Solana assets, and then build an AVS layer where slashing can happen orchestrated by this trust minimized bridging protocol? And the answer is yes, right? Like there are other people trying to do generalized restaking like Karak and Exocore and other asset agnostic bridging, restaking protocols. But the real truth of the matter is you can't do that without interop, right? So I wouldn't be surprised, for instance, if one of these generalized restaking protocols was powered by like layer 0 or whatever. But the problem is now you have billions of dollars in TVL on different chains secured by layer 0 versus secured by the chain, right? So if I fill up a vault with ETH in Ethereum, I'm trusting ETH. And it's the same exact trust assumptions as I'm trusting Ethereum to bridge from Ethereum to Cosmos. So because of these similar trust assumptions, that's why we're doing the restaking layer on top of the IBC infrastructure. Yeah, which chain? Yeah, so we actually run our own Cosmos chain called Picasso. Sorry? Yeah, it's powered by the Pika token. It connects to Osmosis, Cosmos Hub, Stargaze, all the major chains in Cosmos. And so assets flow from Ethereum to our Cosmos chain, and then from our Cosmos chain to everywhere else, basically. Correct, yeah. Yeah, so
That validator pool.
Exactly. So if Picasso reorgs, the bridge will halt, right? Funds will not be lost though, right? It's different than Axelar in that if Axelar gets 51% attacked, all your funds can be stolen. In our model, because it's based on light client verification, if the chain gets 51% attacked, the verification will just fail and funds will not be able to move. So economic security is important, but it's not as important as a centralized system that does require economic security. However, I did mention Ethos. So Ethos is a Cosmos chain that is securing other Cosmos chains using EigenLayer. So we will become one of their chains that they get past us EigenLayer security. So ideally, in a perfect world, we have like 1 billion plus of economic security.